The burns have never affected my ability to be able to sew, to draw, to do anything. I always have a sketchbook. I have tons of them, actually. There's one here, there's one in the office, one in my bedroom, so I'm constantly sketching. When I'm drawing, it's almost like a kind of peaceful thing. It kind of gives me my moment of my awe moment, you know, where I can just relax. The day of the fire, I was actually 2 years old, so I don't have any recollection of it.
All I remember was an explosion. My parents were outside, and I remember my mother and my father, you know, running to the house.
It was myself and my 6-year-old sister. We were standing next to a heater when it exploded, and she passed from smoke inhalation 5 days later. I really wish I could remember her. I received 3rd-degree burns to my face and hands.
Linda's burns, it was very hard, you know, being that young, because you just didn't understand. My mother taught me how to help wrap her bandages, and, you know, we had to soak her hands, and she had to wear a mask on her face to keep the scars down.
I got into fashion when I was probably about 5. My mom sewed, and she was an incredible seamstress. I think that was one of her ways of tricking me into getting the mobility back in my hands. Once she saw that I really liked sewing, she started to teach me how to do little things. I was never treated as though I was a burn survivor. I was never treated as though I had limitations. My burns never interfered with my ability to do anything when it came to sewing. I figured out my way of doing it. My right hand is pretty much, you know, functional. The left, that's the one where I kind of adjust it and make things work for me my way. I absolutely got reactions from people on the street. You get the ugly words that people say that will always stick with you. Yeah. There are still times, you know, I will catch someone taking a second look or staring, but I mean, it's just a part of life now. My fashion line is Romás by Rowe Thomas. My fashion inspiration actually comes from just about anywhere, you know. It could be going to market and seeing the fabric first. I've gotten inspiration from sitting on the beach and just seeing the colors of seashells. I say classic with contemporary style because I grew up loving Jackie O, because I love the way, even if she was riding a horse, she looked very elegant and classy. Hey! Okay. Hi! I think the turning point for my fashion was, you know, someone seeing it and saying, hey, I want to introduce you to a producer from New York Fashion Week. And so once I did that first show at New York Fashion Week, gosh, everything just kind of took off. Dressing people for the Golden Globes and for some of the red carpet events it's really surreal, because it was that thing that I dreamed of. I used to make my younger brother and sister pretend to be models on the runway. That's an amazing feeling.
I have never seen my mom once struggle with any activity or any task that she's ever been given. She's always told me how she was always raised to believe that can't wasn't a part of her vocabulary, and that's something that she really tries to enforce in us as well.
Just black, we'll make it work. in that corner for me. Just out of the way because I need to make me a workspace. Push it in the corner right there because I need the iron.
She's so dedicated and she's running around nonstop from the crack of dawn until the sun goes down. It's a really exciting process, especially going on with everything else that's happening tonight.
Thank you so much for coming out this evening. I am so honored that I had so many family and friends that showed up to help me make this possible. This new collection, which is what tonight is all about, is my ready to wear. I've been doing custom for years, and now I'm actually going to do ready to wear. This is my big sister Sharon. Please stand up. Sharon was like our mother big sister.
Linda's fashion line, I think it's great. I think it's marvelous. Just really proud of her.
Over the years, I still have gained more and more self-confidence. I learned how to actually look in the mirror and love that person that was staring back at me.
Every time I've been asked who my hero was, whether it was in elementary school or in college, the first person that's always come to mind is my mom. She motivates me in everything that I do. Nothing ever holds her back.
I love you more than air, every breath I take. So I'm happy to see everything you do, be here every step of the way.
She's amazing in every way possible because she's an incredibly strong woman.
Knowing that when this accident first happened at 2, the doctors told my mom that I would probably never have a really good quality of life because of my hands. And yet these hands are doing remarkable things.